There's an uncomfortable truth the supplement industry doesn't like. The people who reach 90 with a clear mind and steady legs almost never live on exotic powders and capsules that cost half a pension. They eat a short list of ordinary foods, but they eat them a specific way. And that's the whole secret, because you can eat healthy food every single day and get almost nothing from it. Cut it wrong, heat it wrong, skip the one pairing that unlocks it, and half the benefit ends up in the trash or passes right through you. Today, 15 foods people usually skip, and one exact recommendation for each that turns it from sort of healthy into actually working. No olive oil, no garlic, no beans, no leafy greens. You've heard about those 1,000 times. These are the 15 that get overlooked. Stay to the end. Number 7 is one almost everyone eats so wrong, their body absorbs none of it. And number 12 is a humble breakfast that works like a mild cholesterol drug. Subscribe if you want a new deep dive every week, where ancient food wisdom meets the hard data of modern science. Number 1. Dark berries. Blueberries, blackberries, wild berries. Their color is the medicine. Anthocyanins, pigments that cross into the brain and settle in the hippocampus, your memory center. A large Harvard study following tens of thousands of women linked just a couple of servings of berries a week to memory that stayed several years younger. The recommendation is simple: a handful a day, but don't bake them into a pie. Heat and sugar kill the effect. Frozen wild berries are cheaper than fresh and often higher in anthocyanins. Eat them raw, whole, with plain yogurt or oats. Number 2. Cruciferous vegetables. Broccoli, cauliflower, kale, broccoli sprouts. Their hero is sulforaphane, a compound that doesn't put out one fire, but flips on your own defense gene, NRF2, telling the cell to build a whole army of antioxidants. But there's a trap. Sulforaphane is only born when the plant is damaged, from an enzyme that dies under heat. The recommendation? Chop your broccoli and let it sit for 40 minutes before cooking. Then steam it lightly, 3 or 4 minutes. Don't boil it to gray mush. And if you've already overcooked it, a pinch of mustard powder brings the enzyme back to life. Remember, broccoli sprouts carry tens of times more sulforaphane than the full-grown head. Number 3. Mushrooms. They contain ergothioneine, an amino acid your body hoards greedily but can't make on its own. Scientists seriously call it a longevity vitamin. People who eat more mushrooms show less cognitive decline, plus beta-glucans that train your immune cells. I'll be honest, some of this science is still young. It's an association, not final proof, but there's zero downside to a plate of mushrooms. The recommendation: always cook mushrooms, never eat them raw. Their benefit is locked inside tough walls that only heat can open. A handful a few times a week, and the more varieties, the better. Number 4. Fermented soy, natto, and miso. Their hero is vitamin K2, the traffic cop that pulls calcium out of your artery walls and directs it into your bones, where it belongs. Natto is the single richest food source of K2 on Earth, and the famous Rotterdam study linked higher intake to noticeably less calcium buildup in the arteries. The recommendation: natto is an acquired taste. Start with a spoonful over rice. If it's not for you, have real miso soup, but stir the paste in after you take the pot off the heat, or boiling water kills the live cultures. One honest caveat: if you take blood-thinning medication, ask your doctor about K2 first. Number 5. Fermented vegetables, sauerkraut, kimchi. Live bacteria plus fiber feed and diversify your microbiome, which shrinks with age and is directly tied to frailty and weakness in later years. A Stanford experiment showed that in just a few weeks, fermented food raised microbiome diversity and lowered markers of inflammation. The recommendation? Buy it from the refrigerated section, labeled unpasteurized. The shelf-stable canned stuff is dead. Start with a single forkful per meal, not a whole jar. Give your gut time to adjust. Number 6. Avocado. It's monounsaturated fat, more potassium than a banana, plus lutein for your eyes and brain. But the real trick is this: that fat isn't just filler, it's the transport that lets you absorb the fat-soluble vitamins from the rest of your plate. The recommendation: half an avocado in a salad of greens multiplies your carotenoid absorption several times over. Just use it in place of another heavy fat, not on top of one. Calories still count. Number 7. Ground flaxseed. This is the one almost everyone eats for nothing. A whole flaxseed passes right through you, smooth and untouched, and you get none of it. All the power is inside, behind that hard shell. Lignans. Flax has more than any other food. Plant omega-3 and soluble fiber. The recommendation: buy whole seeds and grind them yourself right before eating, 1 or 2 tablespoons. Ground flax oxidizes fast, so the pre-ground bag on the shelf is already half empty of benefit. Stir it into oatmeal, yogurt, or a smoothie. That one act, grinding, is the entire difference between benefit and waste. If this video is helping you, hit like right now. It's how the channel reaches the people who need this. And subscribe if you haven't yet. New deep dives every week. Number 8. Beets. Their hidden power is dietary nitrates, which your body turns into nitric oxide, the molecule that relaxes and opens your blood vessels. Controlled studies consistently show that a glass of beet juice gently lowers blood pressure and improves blood flow to muscle and brain. The recommendation: roast beets whole in their skin to keep the nitrates, or drink the juice. Add something acidic alongside, like lemon, because acid helps convert those nitrates to nitric oxide right in your mouth. And don't be alarmed by pink in the bathroom later, it's harmless. Number 9. Ginger. It's gingerol, a cousin of the compound that makes pepper hot, has a mild but real anti-inflammatory effect, gets the blood moving, and calms digestion. The recommendation: it's the fresh root that works, not the old gray powder. Grate a slice into warm water with lemon in the morning, or add it to a stir-fry at the end of cooking. A small piece every day does more than a heroic dose once a month. Number 10. Ceylon cinnamon. Its compounds help your cells respond more gently to insulin and keep blood sugar steadier. A modest effect, I'll be honest, not a replacement for treatment, but a nice bonus on every breakfast. The critical detail: get true Ceylon cinnamon, not the cheap cassia. Cassia is loaded with coumarin, which is hard on the liver in large amounts. The recommendation: half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon in oatmeal, yogurt, or coffee. A small thing, but it smooths the sugar curve of the whole meal. Number 11. Dark chocolate and cocoa, 85% and up. Its flavonols directly improve the function of the endothelium, the inner lining of your blood vessels, which means better blood flow and, according to recent large trials, better heart health in older age. The recommendation: this is not about a sugary milk chocolate bar. It's the bitter kind, 85% or higher, 2 or 3 squares a day. Or a spoonful of pure cocoa powder in warm milk. The less sugar and the less processing, the more living flavonols survive inside. Number 12. Oats. That humble breakfast that works like a mild cholesterol drug. Its beta-glucan is a soluble fiber that turns to gel in your gut, binds bile acids, and forces the body to pull extra cholesterol out of the blood to rebuild them. The effect is so reliable that health authorities have officially recognized it. The recommendation: use whole or old-fashioned rolled oats, not the instant sugary packets. Those spike your blood sugar instead of helping. Soak them overnight, add ground flax, and a handful of berries, and you've got 3 items from this list in a single bowl. Number 13. Eggs from pasture-raised hens. In older age, the quiet enemy is sarcopenia, muscle loss that steals your strength and your balance. An egg is dense, complete protein with the ideal amino acid profile for holding on to muscle, plus choline for the brain and lutein and zeaxanthin for the eyes. The old fear about cholesterol has largely been revised by modern data. The recommendation: eat the whole egg. The value is in the yolk, not the white. And to protect muscle, an aging body needs a real portion of protein at each meal, not crumbs. A couple of eggs at breakfast does that job better than any sweet piece of toast. Number 14. Seaweed. Nori, wakame, kombu. A staple of Okinawa and one of the most underrated foods in the Western kitchen. It carries iodine, critical for the thyroid, the gland that runs your entire metabolism, plus rare minerals and fucoxanthin, which is being studied for its effect on metabolism. The recommendation: a sheet of nori as a snack, wakame in soup, a pinch of seaweed in place of some of your salt. But an honest caveat: kombu is extremely high in iodine, and too much is as harmful as too little. So use it sparingly and not every day. Moderation here is the recipe. Number 15. Pomegranate. And with it, we close the circle. Its punacalogens are among the most powerful plant polyphenols there are, and once they reach your gut, your microbiome converts them into urolithin, a compound that triggers the cleanup of broken mitochondria inside your cells, literally helping the body recycle its own wear and tear. On top of that, it supports the tone and flexibility of your blood vessels. The recommendation? Eat the whole seeds because the fiber comes with them. If you go for juice, only 100% no added sugar in small servings. A handful of seeds over a salad of greens or a bowl of yogurt turns a plain dish into a complete one. 15 foods, and not one of them exotic, expensive, or rare. That's the whole secret. The people who reach old age strong and clear-minded weren't chasing superfoods or buying health in capsules. They ate ordinary food, but they ate it right, and they ate it every day. Not perfectly, just consistently. And the most important thing to take from this video, it isn't the food by itself. It's the pairing of food plus method. Ground flax instead of whole, broccoli that got to sit, oats soaked overnight, pomegranate eaten with the seeds. That's where the difference lives, between food you eat for show and food that actually adds years. Don't try to add all of it at once. Pick 2 or 3 and start this week. Tell me in the comments, which of these 15 do you already eat? And which one, now that you know the mistake, are you finally going to prepare the right way? I genuinely want to know. And if you're not subscribed yet, now's the time. Every week, a new deep dive into how simple, ancient, honest food outplays an entire industry.